my first 2, 3, maybe 4 part, nah, it won't be 4 part, be 3 parts maximum, beginning series of painting with Rich Fisher, I suppose. What I'm going to do today is a simple painting. This painting requires very little in the way of incredible skill, should I say. It's a simple painting. It's called Italian Window, and this is a really fun little painting to do. And it is, it's just simple, it's easy, it's effective. It's a great way to get that seat time, the time behind your paintbrush, just to sit down and paint and do something, get your mind off everything. We're gonna do it though today on a 16 by 20 canvas instead of a 11 by 14, which is what this was on. So let's just jump right to it and cut the talking and get to it. First thing, as always, I always got something going on painting wise, and I should keep this, but I know what I'm doing on my other painting. I'm just going to scrape all this down here to the side, get that cleaned up a little bit. And the palettes, the colors, I'll run them across the screen so everybody knows. Very first thing we're going to do is take this number 10 bristle brush, and this is a flat bristle brush. I'll show you real quick. Here's what a flat number 6 looks like. This is what it's going to look like after I get done scrubbing with it. It becomes a filbert. So don't buy filbert brushes. I'm going to get my brush wet, and then I'm just going to take burnt sienna, maybe a touch of ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. Grab some gesso, a little more blue. I want this kind of dark in the background. I might even grab a little burnt umber. All I'm going to do is come up here and scrub this on. Don't get too much on the backside. Right now I'm just trying to cover the darkness of the canvas. That's it. Add whatever you want. If you've got a bunch of mess like this yellow mess I've got down here, add it. It doesn't matter. All you're really trying to do is cover this for now. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, blue, purple, turquoise. Just get some. And notice I'm not painting like this. I'm using the entire side of the brush. That's why it's almost easier, a little bit smaller on the 11 by 14. If you want to go that size, the principle or the techniques are exactly the same. It's just a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker. Does take up some paint. Blue, just grabbing color. Even learn how, this is a great place to learn how to mix right up on the canvas. Just grab colors on your brush, don't get them homogenized on your Stay Wet palette or your palette, whatever you're using. Just get in there and grab burnt umber, burnt sienna, blue, turquoise, purple. Doesn't matter. I know for a fact that my window is going to be right here in the middle, so I'm just making this a little bit darker just to begin with. But we'll come in here and draw out where the window is and obviously end up making it darker as we go. Burnt sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, touch of gesso. Clean your brush out on your canvas. This is what I'm actually going to be. I'm up in Prescott Valley area in Arizona, and I'll be joining a Prescott Fine Art group. And this is a painting I will be doing a class on at their location. If I remember when I'm editing this video, I'll try and leave a link to this location if you're interested in taking the class. I'm not sure how she charges or any of that, but I'll leave the link. You can contact her. Her name is Tamara. Nice lady. Nice little studio. And if you want to join me, it'd be fun to have you. Okay. So this part right now is done. But what we have to do at this point is to let this cure. It will dry within about 15 minutes or so, but you have to wait like a half hour to 45 minutes for this to actually cure, because otherwise we're going to come in here with wet paint and start scrubbing some more, and what's going to happen is it's going to re-emulsify that paint and get you back to white canvas. So we'll take a quick break here and be right back. Okay, that has had time to cure a little bit, and I seem to have misplaced my soft vine charcoal. Okay, so for paintings like this, I use it's just called soft vine charcoal. Looks like that. What I am going to do, I'm not going to measure. I can see where my painting is about, let's just say that's center. And I want the window to take up probably a little bit more than a third of it. And that isn't going to work, so good for me. Let's say I know I want my top to be right about here. Nope, that broke. Do that. And I want my bottom. This thing isn't working well on here, which is fine. I want the bottom to be. You make it up. You can do a big or a little window. There, I got two semi-straight lines. Now I'm just going to take and use my finger ruler, and all I'm doing is putting my pinky on the canvas to keep that straight-ish, and that's it. And that's probably a little bit crooked, and you can check it to make sure it's not like stupid crooked, which that ended up being a little bit stupid crooked, which I don't like that, so I will do that and come over here. And because this is a canvas board and not a wrapped canvas, this board is much more difficult to get this square hung up on, but there we go. I have a square. That line was no bueno, and to me, I'm just looking at it. Looks like it needs to come over there. That's it. Basically, you have a square or a rectangle. Let me pick up that. Now I'm going to jump right back to the same brush, the number 10 bristle brush, and I am going to not completely clean it out. I'm just going to squish out some of the paint that's in there. But what I am going to do is come down to this pile that I have. It's relatively dark. I'm going to make it dark. I'm going to take ultramarine blue, a little bit of turquoise deep, and burnt umber, not burnt sienna, burnt umber. A little more burnt umber. Touch of dioxazine purple. I'm not going to add any gesso to this, just going to make dark. This is how I make black when I'm doing anything black. You can do shades of black You can do a bluish shade, you can do a warmer brownish shade. This is just as dark as I can get it with what I got there. I'm going to come in here to this window. I'm not going to do a straight line. Well, I might do a little bit of a straight line, but I'm just going to pull in right from where my mark is. And it won't really matter. What you're trying to avoid is just leaving a roll, an edge of paint sticking up there, which will make it difficult later to come in and put the wood frame of the window in. Back, a little water. I notice I'm a little bit more on the brown side, so I just grabbed a little more blue. And again, I can mix that right up in here. It won't matter. All the definition you end up giving this comes later with a little bit smaller brush. Grab more paint. Don't be afraid to rotate your canvas. I've had a lot of people make comments that, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could rotate your canvas and it was okay to paint. Well, why wouldn't it be okay to paint? Rotate your canvas. Leonardo da Vinci, I'll bet you he rotated canvas. Michelangelo. Jackson Pollock probably didn't rotate his canvas. He didn't really care. But as it is right now, you can pick either side to be top or bottom. All you're trying to do here is get this dark. Again, I'll probably come back in here and do one more dark coat before I think it's completely dark enough for what I want. There. That's started. So I'm going to grab my soft fine charcoal, which is gone again. How did I possibly do that? Seriously? Did it fall on the floor? You guys saw, I just had it, right? I had 2 pieces of it. I'm not losing my mind, am I? Maybe. Oh my gosh, it had to roll. Wow. Can't believe I usually have a piece of charcoal that lasts for 6 years. All right, I'm going to put a piece up here intentionally. Okay, so now, okay, I found my charcoal. I'm going to come out here now. I'm just going to do a real quick outline. I want the window flower box to be just a touch bigger. So I'm just going to kind of sketch it in. Okay, so that's where I want my flower box to be. And well, you know where the header is going to be. Yeah, I kind of want it to stick out a little bit further than that, so bring it out a little bit further than that. And then there are some places where there's some brick that you can see through the old stucco. I like the one over here. And I'm just kind of roughly drawing out where it looks like some old stucco had popped off the building. You can add it wherever you want. But, so there. These places will end up painting in some fake brick. This is going to be the window box itself. And I'm putting my charcoal right there so I don't lose that for the umpteenth millionth time. But now I'm going to jump down to my number 6 flat bristle brush. And I kind of want that window box to be like a dark greenish. I'm going to go into this mess I've got right here. get the excess water out of my brush. Dark green, touch of gesso, a greenish mess, let's call it. Touch of purple. You don't want, so you're going to have a lot of greenage in the flowers and stuff that are up here, but I just want to kind of indicate wherever my flower box is going to be. A lot of this will get covered, but in case any of it's shown. And these are, I've been to Italy several times, and I absolutely love every part of Italy I've been to. And these are some of the typical colors. This is a typical greenish color you'll see on shutters and stuff like that. So there's my flower box. And I'm still kind of letting this cure. So I'm picking other areas to work on while this part of it's curing. So what I do want to do is come back into these areas where I want some of that brick, again with this number 6 bristle brush. And I'm going to jump back to this dark area here, and I'm going to add some gesso to it. I'm going to get a nice gray, but I want it dark gray. A dark gray. So I'm just going to come in here and kind of rough. And what this will end up actually looking like later is going to be the joints between the mortar joints. And this is, I'm just kind of scumbling this on. Not really any technique to getting this just in place. The only thing that I'm conscious of is not leaving any ridges of paint that are going to be difficult to cover later. I can't emphasize that enough in this type of painting. Any painting really. Oil, you have the luxury of being able to come back and kind of move it around still, but it can still get you in trouble when you leave ridges of paint. I kind of like that, the way that looks. Well, got a little green, but who cares? That'll be covered up. Okay, so that's step 2. Okay, so that's the end of part 1 of Italian Window. Join me next time. It should be a few days, maybe a week before this is out again, and I will let you know when the next video is out. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2.